The sound of gunfire and barking dogs echoed through the dense forest, signaling that the hunt was in full swing. The morning mist still clung to the trees, weaving a veil of silver light through branches that swayed gently in the cold air. Our hunt took place in a forest in southwestern Germany, where the Schwarzwald Mountains stretch endlessly, covered with towering pines, moss-covered rocks, and tangled underbrush. This landscape, breathtaking to the eye, is also the perfect refuge for one of the most cunning and destructive creatures we face. The wild boar. The hunting trips here are not for recreation or sport in the traditional sense. We do not hunt for trophies or glory. The purpose is clear, urgent, and necessary: to destroy and control the exploding wild boar population. These animals have grown into a formidable invasive species, capable of tearing apart farmland, destabilizing ecosystems, and even threatening human safety. For us, hunting is not a game. It is a duty to restore balance. In Germany, becoming a hunter is not as simple as buying a rifle and walking into the woods. The path is long, demanding, and deeply rooted in tradition and ethics. Before one can legally hunt, a year of training is required. We study ecology, wildlife biology, law, animal anatomy, and even philosophy of conservation. We are trained to understand not just how to kill, but why, when, and under what ethical framework. The final hunting exam is known as the Green Diploma, a rigorous test that ensures only those truly prepared may join the ranks of licensed hunters. When I passed mine, I felt the weight of responsibility as much as the thrill of privilege. Every time we go into the forest, caution is our closest companion. One wrong step, one misplaced sound, and the prey vanishes into the shadows, or worse, turns to attack. Wild boars are nothing like the storybook pigs children read about. They are not bumbling, harmless creatures. They are fast, intelligent, and highly aggressive when cornered. Their sharp tusks can slash open a man's leg or gut a hunting dog in seconds. Many hunters bear scars from close encounters, and some never walk away from them at all. On this particular morning, we entered the forest before dawn, moving quietly toward the high wooden huts, Hogsits, as they are called, that rise above the ground for better visibility and safety. From up there, the forest stretched in all directions, a living sea of green and brown. My comrades and I barely spoke, communicating with silent gestures, our breaths clouding in the crisp autumn air. The stillness was thick enough to hear your own heartbeat. It did not take long before the silence cracked. From deep within the brush came hurried footsteps, snapping twigs and rustling leaves. Then, shaggy black shapes emerged, snouts rooting, eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. Wild boars. My comrades and I exchanged quick looks. Guns were raised. In the next instant, thunderous gunfire shattered the morning calm. Several of the larger pigs fell immediately, their massive bodies hitting the ground with dull thuds. Others scattered, crashing through the undergrowth in a desperate bid for safety. Even after the shots, my heart pounded so loudly I could feel it in my throat. The morning was still cold, but sweat pricked at my back. Excitement mixed with tension, and I reminded myself that this was only the beginning. Through the trunks and scattered leaves, another boar appeared. This one was cautious, its small eyes scanning, ears twitching at every sound. Slowly I raised my rifle. My breath became shallow, controlled, my finger tightening around the trigger. In that suspended moment, all else disappeared. When the shot rang out, the animal dropped instantly. A second one burst from the bushes, larger and more desperate. It bolted to the side, but instinct guided me. I fired again, the bullet finding its mark in the creature's chest. It let out a piercing squeal before collapsing in the dirt. Wild boars reproduce at an astonishing rate. One sow can produce 2 litters a year, with up to a dozen piglets each time. Their survival instincts are razor-sharp, and they adapt to threats quickly. It is no wonder that each hunting trip can yield dozens, sometimes even hundreds, of kills. The population is simply relentless. Later in the hunt, I spotted another boar higher up the slope of a mountain path. It stood still for a brief moment, its silhouette framed against the canopy. I aimed, fired, and watched as the animal staggered before tumbling down the steep hillside, rolling over rocks and shrubs until it landed below. The sight was a grim reminder of both the power of the rifle and the fragility of life. And yet, despite the numbers we brought down, they just kept coming. It was as though we had stepped directly into their stronghold, their lair hidden in the folds of the Schwarzwald. With every appearance, another battle unfolded. Gunfire echoed again and again, the forest ringing with the clash of predator and prey. For me, the act of pulling the trigger does not bring joy. I do not feel triumph. If anything, I feel the weight of necessity. Each life taken is part of a larger effort, protecting farmers, preserving forests, and maintaining balance in a fragile ecosystem.
If you'll enjoy this video, please like and subscribe my channel for more information.